Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Jervich. I'm in the RV. This is like my office space. And it's so fun because it's like there's a windstorm outside. I've got the windows open, and the popsicle truck is going down the street. I can't tell you how hard it is for me not to run out there and go get like a fudge bomb. Anyway, all right. So we're going to do a little talk today. We're going to get right to it after my silly information about what I'm experiencing here. Anyway, this is about the Akashic records, and the topic is going to really be covering the very nature of timelessness. And most of you may know that I do Akashic readings with clients. I'm a prolific writer, so I've got lots and lots of notes, and so I'm really trying to stay more succinct with my message. I go squirrel so easy. It's just totally fun. Okay. Got my adult face on. Bing. Okay. So this one is about the Akashic records, and we're going to go into the timelessness of the nature of this working with the records. Now, the Akashic records, some people are like, well, can you explain to me what it is? I'm like, well, this is my explanation. Okay, so the main thing about the Akashic records is this. I'm going to go down my list here. Past life still unfolds in the now. Okay, when I go into the records, it's not a book, it's not a library or building. It is simply a download of information, and then from that, like a time traveler, I skip from my seat. I'm right there in front of my client, but I'm able to actually go to the point of origin of what caused an effect that is happening now. Okay, so this is when you're like going, I keep having this thing happen and I can't understand what's going on. And, then I'm like, hey, let's look at it, And so, with the records, we can go back in and retrieve information from a past life and see, does that resonate for you? And in most cases, there's some string of possibility of a deeper understanding. So past life still unfolds in the now. That's the first thing about the Akashic records that we find. And then also, and this is on the flip side of it. So the consequences present in current life now. So you've got something showing up, whether it's a persistent pattern or these loop-de-loops that are showing up. So you really notice the consequences of something happening now, and then you're like, what caused this? And you're not really sure. This is when people come to me, is when they start noticing, this doesn't seem like it's my stuff. Even half the time I'm like going, is this even mine? Now, I have other methods to eradicate stuff real quick, but I'm open. And so for most people, when I start working with clients, we got to do step by step. Me, I'm like, bam, toss it, send it to the light. All right, so then we're also going in that there is no linear time, okay, in the Akashic. When we go in the Akashic, we're talking about, and this may be in your thought belief or not, but it's moving more into a five-dimensional reality, that there is no time. Everything is bam, bam, now, all right? And so it's real easy for me to go zoom into that and retrieve and then share, all right? 3D, third dimension, is really where we're at. We're on this beautiful planet. I'm starting to yawn. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to say one thing about yawning. When I'm in the Akashic Records, I yawn all the time, and I'm just filling with Spirit. So a frequency or a shift in frequency is entering in. Okay, so 3D is where we're here. We're on this planet. We're having a good life. Some people call it Gaia. We're here in the physical realm, and it's happening now. Then you move into fourth dimension, which is kind of that place of thought. For me, it's a place of reprieve or a place of preparation. Okay, so I'm kind of skipping through this fairly quick. 5D is where the information is, where I go. It's the Akashic, and the Akashic is everywhere. What I can do, you can do too. And I also teach people how to tap in and more tune in. Some people might go, I don't think I can do it, or I don't think I believe that. I'm like, well, how do you get intuition? And then somebody might say, well, I just got a gut instinct about it. And I'll be like, that's it. That you call it gut instinct. Okay, that's great. Or you have an inspired thought, or you've been asking a question and all of a sudden you retrieve some information. It's like, oh my God, I got it now. Okay, so there's all kinds of different ways to look at that, but everybody can continue to work and continue to train to tap into their own records. Okay, now the records, I call them the Akashic records. Some people call it the Book of Life or the Book of Souls. So it basically covers the experiences in a human's life. All right. So going into the 5D and doing the Akashic records for me when I'm working with people is a sacred trust with a person. And so what that means is that I do not go in without being asked. There always has to be permission granted. And so the permission for me is they've made an appointment with me and they come with one question. Now, definitely when we get in the reading, if there's additional questions or more discovery, then we'll go there. But it starts with one idea. And for most people, if you've listened to my stuff, there's really three reasons. It may be guised another narrative. I'm so not about story and drama, but sometimes we got to go there a little bit. We'll call it narrative now. We're going to neutralize, just kind of bring it down, dial it down a little bit by narrative. It's either money, it's either I want more money, or I need more love in my life, or I need a healthy body. I don't know where these voices come in, but it's one of those things. So when they come in, they ask me a question related to one of those three topics typically. And then I have the permission when they ask the question that I can go in. Oh God. Here it comes, spirit, spirit. All right. And so what we do by doing that, by having this permission, is it's really protecting all parties energetically, because if somebody came in and started tapping in to me, and I've had people do that, and I'll be like, no, no, no. Whatever you're going to tell me, if I haven't really asked about it, we're not going to go there. So that's a naughty in my book. So I'm very respectful of other people's private lives. All right. So then, and again, if you energetically going in and intruding, it's a real energetic faux pas in the world of energy workers or light workers. So it's always goes with permission and always with discernment and respect of another soul. Alrighty, so some things that we learn about when we're going into the Akashic record and some of the steps here. So we learn that there is no time. It's all happening now. It's all now. So this now is like spanning all lifetimes, past, present, future, concurrent running, parallel running timelines, all happening now. Like now, now, now. Okay. In each one of those lifetimes or those different parallel experiences we're having, all are creating bridges to awareness of now. So let's just say I'm here now and I'm aware. So this is creating a bridge for me as I'm sharing this and actually looking at my notes again, because the spirit keeps dropping in with the yawning. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And then what we also learn from being in this now is that all of our choices, every little decision, I'm gonna look this way, I'm gonna look that way, or I'm gonna drink this now, or I'm gonna use my lip gloss now. All choices play out and perpetuate all of our realities. So when you look at if you look at a situation you're in and you're like, that person did me wrong. It's your choice. So you gotta be like honing right back into here, into your heart space, because you're making these choices. Okay. Alrighty. So it's all choice point. And so all of your choices are perpetuating all the realities that show up in your field. All right. So sometimes what we find is that the people that come in, they can't remember the moment that they made a choice to have some experiences in this timeline. That's like, it's not from this timeline, but they're really becoming aware. Like they can't remember the initial call. So when we go back in and retrieve a record, then it shows a level of perspective. Okay. And then also for let's see, this is a tough one. Sometimes with this, there's like non-fear and then fear-based things that show up. Okay, so when we're going into the records, I'll just talk about the fear stuff and the lower frequencies. When I work with my clients, I work straight with the light and straight with love because I'm a love bunny, and I only work in my and I'm a direct connect to source. So I don't work with anything fear based, but I do note if any entities or like low flying energies, and again, it's not like higher or lower, it's just some entities that come in that have a fear-based type message. I don't work with that energy. Okay, so that's my choice as a reader. For me to tap into the records for people and assist others, I have specific guidelines that I work straight with light. It's not that I'm afraid of darkness or bad stuff. I mean, heck, we got enough of that here in 3D. I'm all about keeping it love-based, universal love-based. So I've got some rules of engagement there. And then here's the deal with the people that I work with, that they have the power of choice when they're moving through their life, whether we're looking at the records or whether their perspective is coming in, that it's choice. They can choose to be in a positive nature or in a negative nature. Okay? I don't do negative anymore. Sometimes I have moments of negative or fear-based stuff, and I used to like process it and like I'm going to talk about it for a while and question it. Now I'm just like snapping out of it because you know what? I've had enough suffering and I'm good. I don't have any more lessons to learn on that subject matter, and I'm just going to poof send it, like to do this, poof send it to the light. Okay. And so what we do is we learn from the records. Okay. So the clients, when they're getting this information and they're getting some perspective, again, it's all up for the client to discern from the reading what is real and what lands with them. Because I can be like blah, 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 blah. But if they don't feel it in their heart, they're not going to get it. And so what they begin to learn is like they're not helpless and they're not a victim. Okay, when we go into the past life stuff or past timelines or concurrent or parallel timelines and see other consequences that are leading to an effect in this lifetime, then they see, oops, 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 that they're not a victim. They're powerful. They're not powerless. There's no victim here. Okay, that's what they're learning. This is what information I'm getting from my clients. And also with that is once they realize I'm not helpless, I'm not a victim, I created this, then they kind of go, whew, come into this that I am the creator. I actually created this. Okay, so these are really, really great things when a person comes into awareness and into the attunement of like, hey, I created this. I claim responsibility for this. And I created all the beautiful power and all the beautiful color and juicy fun and playfulness. And you know what? I also created the boo-boos too. I keep saying boo-boos, but these are things that show up in this lifetime that we're like, kind of creepers. We don't want to do it anymore. But when a person gets into the records and understands and starts discerning the information that comes from the records, then they're taking more control in managing the vehicle, the body. They come into power play. So they know, I'm going to read this again, they claim responsibility. My clients, I'm going to say this, I claim responsibility for my life. All the power and all the juiciness I claim. All the little boo-boos and little bumps and bruises and skin knees, I claim that too. I also claim I'm done with that. All right. So that's kind of where I'm going to just stop there on my notes. But these are really powerful moments when a person can dive deep and be open to seeing another perspective that's not necessarily from this timeline. And that actually neutralizes any charge of any things that are concerning them now. It's like it almost seems like it's not even real, but it is. Okay, so I'm hoping that this helped. This is also the very nature of the timelessness. So we really got into some deep groovy stuff from tapping into the records and some experiences of claim and power. I got the power. Victimhood be gone. Boo-boos, be gone. Sending yucky stuff to the light. Okay? So just being in that seat of like, I create. When I create something good, I claim it. When I create something bad and it goes bad, I'm like, I'm not going to do that one again. I'm going to do the other cool thing again. Anyway, you have a most beautiful day. I hope this really was fun for you to watch. And may you be blessed.